Hey guys, I'm Becky from BookBit Reviews, and welcome to my January library haul / TBR. So like I mentioned to you guys in December, I am no longer doing very strict TBRs. I'm somebody who likes to plan ahead, but also likes to mood read. So TBRs have been a little bit of a struggle for me this year. So I've decided to, instead of showing you the books that must get done each month, I am showing you all of the books that I have gotten from either my personal library or my public library and want to try and read this month. So the overall plan is to read everything that I show you, but we all know it's not going to happen. I have a lot of books that I'm all very, very excited for, so let's just get into it. So first, there are two books that I do not have a copy. One has still not arrived at my local library, and the other one is in my personal ebook library. So first, let's talk about my personal pick, which is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Everyone knows, or should know at this point, that Jennifer L. Armentrout is my #1 favorite author. Of course, I'm going to read something by her, but this book has gotten a whole lot of hype in the book community. I doubt you have never heard or seen this cover before. I will say that I was a little nervous going into this book. I have started it and I'm almost done with it. I have plans to finish it today because this book is very, very different from Jennifer's other books. So this book follows a girl named Penelope who is a maiden and chosen by the gods person in her realm, which means that she's not allowed to talk to anybody. She's not allowed to socialize. She has to wear a veil anytime she's out in public. She must stay pure. She must follow all the rules and do whatever the Duke and Duchess tell her to until she is ascended to the gods and becomes this new, slightly paranormal creature within her realm. But Penelope, or as she is nicknamed Poppy, doesn't really like following rules, and she does a lot of things that get her in trouble, and along the way she meets and starts to fall for her guard, Hawk. Like I said, I have already started this. It is really, really freaking good. I was nervous going into this because it sounded similar to The Beholder by Kira Cass, which I was very excited to read when it came out in 2020 and was a giant disappointment. So I was very nervous going in, as well as Jennifer's never done this sort of like medieval kingdom kind of book. She does paranormal, but not so much fantasy. So this was different, but still flawlessly executed thus far. So I'm very excited to finish it today. The book that hasn't arrived at my local library is Graceling by Kristin Cashore. This is my February book club's pick. This book, I am one of the few who has not read it yet. I've been wanting to read this book for a very long time, and then recently it picked up a whole lot of hype, which I didn't understand why at first. So I was like, oh cool, this is becoming popular, I want to read it, I'm picking it for book club. And I have since learned that a sequel is coming out very soon, if not it already has. I don't know, because I'm not in the fandom yet, if the sequel is one that they've been like waiting many years for, or if it was like a, hey, I'm gonna do a sequel or a book set in this world. So I don't know what that's all about, but I'm very excited to read this book. This one is about, kind of similar actually to From Blood and Ash, but this book is about a girl who is the king of her realm's niece, which should mean that she lives a very easy and privileged life. However, she was graced with the skill of being a really good assassin, basically, and her king has chosen her as like his personal thug, is how it is described in the description. And it also says that she's going to fall in love with somebody she never expected to. I'm assuming she's going to want to get out underneath the king's thumb, as well as she finds out that she has like this power that could destroy all 7 realms. So it sounds very interesting and I'm very excited to get into it. Next, we have Bone Music by Christopher Rice. This was in my December library haul, so I'm not going to go into what it's about. You can check out that video if you want to know more, but I'm very excited to get to this. I didn't get to it in December, so I'm hoping to get to this in January. From my own personal library, we have New Moon by Stephanie Meyer. This is obviously a reread for me. I am very excited but nervous to dive back into the series and do a reread now that I am much older. The last time I reread this book was right before the movie came out, so that was a very, very long time ago. My opinions on this series has drastically changed, but it will always hold a special piece in my heart because it was a very big role in my childhood. But I am planning to probably do a separate vlog for my rereads of these. I really want to share my thoughts on what I think about this series now, so my goal for 2021 was to reread all the rest of the books in the series since I read Twilight like 3 times last year in different formats, so here we go. Next I have Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. This is a humorous memoir about Jenny Lawson. This, I believe, is her second book that she's written, and I think that she has 3 books out right now. They're all memoirs about her life. This one focuses on her severe depression as well as other illnesses that she has and how they have helped her to lead down a path of living life to the fullest. I've heard amazing things about these books. I have met Jenny Lawson at BEA many, many years ago, and she is a super nice and kind person as well as ridiculously hilarious. So I'm very excited to get into the books. I have heard that the books are very humorous and also very insightful. My boss at my library has decided to do a fun staff book club, and this is the book that we picked for January, so I need to read this very, very soon because I think the meeting is like in a week or 2. Next, from my personal library, I have The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. As you guys may or may not know, I did finally purchase the entire box set of the Throne of Glass hardcovers. I have read the first book for book club, but I've never read any of the other ones, including Assassin's Blade, so I have also made it a goal for 2021 to read them all. So we're going to go ahead and start with the binding of all the novellas. I'm very excited to get into it. I have heard people say that you should check this out before going into book 1, but I personally think that this would give too much away if you read it first. So I personally suggest you read book 1 and then go into this to get like the background, because I think most of these take place before book 1. Next, I have Parachutes by Kelly Yang. This book is about wealthy Asians who get sent to live in private homes in America to study here, and this book is supposed to be exploring that topic, as well as it has been described as Speak meets Gossip Girl, which very, very weird description because those are 2 polar opposite things. But I'm assuming that with it being compared to Gossip Girl, this is going to focus a lot on very privileged, wealthy teens having to deal with a whole lot of gossip and drama. And then being compared to Speak, I think we're also going to hit on some very heavy, real topics. So I am very excited. I've heard really good things about this, and the Goodreads rating for this book is very high. It is almost a 5-star. So the last one from my personal library is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This book has blown up, which I'm very excited about, but I can't wait to get into it because this book sounds like everything I could ever ask for. This book is about a trans character who has to prove to himself, as well as his very traditional Latinx family, that he is a successful and good brujo, which in Spanish means sorcerer, so we're dealing with witches and magic and warlocks, and I'm very excited. So in this book, he decides, in order to try to prove that he is a good brujo, that he will do a ritual on his own to conjure up his murdered cousin's ghost to try to set him free. But he messes it up, and he actually conjures the ghost of the school bad boy. So you guys can guess where this book is going to go, and I can't wait to read all about it. This book also has had nothing but amazing things said by it. I think it won a Goodreads award. If not, it was a nominee and a top contender. If I'm remembering correctly, I believe that Aiden Thomas did say on Twitter that this is the first book featuring a trans character that was written by a trans author that has made the New York Times bestsellers list, and I just cannot wait to get into it. Fun fact, my library did a best books of 2020 recommendations list, and I recommended this book even though I haven't read it because I've heard such amazing things and I wanted to make sure that we had some trans rep on this list. Because of that, my coworker did check out this book and he said that this was nothing short of amazing, and he's somebody like me who likes to complain about things and find something wrong with everything, and he said that he honestly couldn't find a thing wrong with this book. So I'm really excited and I want to get to this book ASAP. Next we have Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is another book, all of these books, honestly, I don't think I've heard anything bad about, besides New Moon. But another book that has had nothing but amazing things said about it, as well as the other books that are in this series. So this book follows Chloe Brown, who is chronically ill. She has a near-death experience and decides to create a bucket list to finally start living life. And along the way, she ends up meeting Red. They fall in love happily ever after, I assume. But this sounds so good. Like I've said, everyone loves this book. Everyone in the booktube and bookstagram community has read it, and I'm ready and here for it. And last but certainly not least, I have Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. This book is a black girl magic book about a girl whose mother dies, and after that she doesn't really want to be in her home, be in her city, go to her school. So she transfers to this elite private school, and on her first night there she witnesses a magical attack by a human soul-sucking demon, I believe, that can fly. And she realizes that there is a secret society of students who call themselves Legendborn who fight these paranormal creatures off. And she also realizes that she also has some hidden magic within her as well. And basically this book is going to focus on paranormal creature hunters, as well as magic, as well as her trying to figure out what happened when her mom passed away. And yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait. Again, have heard nothing but great things about this book as well, and I've been excited about this book since I think the cover was released, so I can't wait to get into it. This book is a little bit of a chunker, but, oh, and the font is small. Great. So guys, those are all the books that I have on my personal as well as local library haul. I'm really hoping that I can get to all these books. I have made a weekly plan of how to get through them all. So far I am slightly behind by like a day, but we'll see. I would like though for you guys to let me know which of these books I should prioritize. I haven't started any of these besides From Blood and Ash, so let me know in the comments what book I should pick up next. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, to also give it a thumbs up. Keep reading, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!